He did win the America's Cup.
He's just impressive. I mean, he's actually a good chess player, it seems.
What else is going on? Hikaru moves to kick, I see, is our next talking point. Hikaru did, maybe before we get to the kick move, he did win the America's Cup. Keeps kicking.
He's just impressive. I mean, he's actually a good chess player, it seems.
I was following actually a couple of tie breaks live, which was...
Yeah, he's a good chess player. Yeah, I mean, I try, you guys. I mean, I know I stream primarily, but I do try from time to time to play good chess.
It was very exciting. My feeling was that Wesley was outplaying. It was very interesting. So the final, let's put it so. Hikaru, it was a double elimination. So
wait, sorry, is it too loud, you guys? Is it too loud? I think sounds good. Well, let me double check. Is it okay or not? We'll get to speed soon too. I don't know. It's not too loud. Okay, sounds good. Okay, let's keep going.
Hikaru won the first bracket, the champions bracket. So he won all his matches. He defeated Wesley in the final. Then Wesley had to win against Caruana to get back, to get another chance against Naka, okay, and he did so. So he got a match with Naka. He won in the rapid, 2 classical games, and then he won in the rapid. And the last day they had to play another tiebreak where the winner would just be the final winner. I followed that one from start to finish. Actually, it was very exciting. And unpaid, I must say.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
Why?
the first event for many years. So I'm going in a very wrong direction.
It's Laurent Fressinet, but yeah, coming to the point.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Yeah, but Jan is paying for me at the end of the day. We know that. Yeah. So this is all fair.
I'm waiting for them to get to the point.
My feelings was that overall, I mean, like, Wesley was playing better. He was outplaying Naka in both matches, but he was blundering big. I mean, he was tired, or I don't know, but it was simply... My impression was that for 30 moves, he was a better player, just a slightly better player, but then he was making such blunders. And Naka is just a machine. I mean, he's never blunders, just... putting, well, and so he's right about it.
There are a couple things that I'm gonna say. First of all, when it comes to the 30 moves thing, he's not wrong. I mean, my openings, I just didn't have anything left in the tank at the end of the American Cup, and he's absolutely right that Wesley got great positions. That being said, there's a certain other chess player who happens to be the world champion, and of course he generally doesn't get into the same kind of trouble in the opening that I do, but a certain former world chess champion by the name of Magnus Carlsen, he's actually, when I said that even sounds weird, honestly. That just sounds messed up when I say it. But like in terms of Magnus Carlsen, like, he's the same way, where he gets a bad position. Whenever he gets a bad position, he just shuts the game down. Somehow he doesn't blunder, and it's the exact same thing. The ball over the net and waiting for mistakes.
I was gonna say this. It's hard to define better player, because Hikaru has these very clear qualities that he doesn't blunder, he doesn't collapse, his level doesn't get lower. So this is actually, for those of you guys who are new to the stream, I'm going to give you guys a little insight here. This is something that changed a lot in the last couple of years during the pandemic, when I finally retired from playing chess and I became a streamer. That changed my whole mentality and the mindset. So like now, when I get a bad position, I'm actually much better at hanging on and not collapsing, because it doesn't matter. If I lose the game, I lose the game, but I get to go back to my real job. So because of that, that has changed a lot. If you go back a few years, there were a lot of games actually against none other than the soon-to-be former world chess champion Magnus Carlsen, where I would just collapse. I get a bad position, and it's just like that. I make 2-3 bad moves in a row, lose the game, boom. Now, it's not to say I wouldn't have lost those games anyway, but when I would just self-destruct and make a couple bad moves in a row, it was too much to overcome. And so you're saying it's because you literally don't care? Pretty much, yes, pretty much that is exactly what I'm saying, is that now I just don't collapse. It's like, I watched a show, and I've alluded to it a few times. It's called The Imposters. It was on Netflix a while back. And they have that great saying, which is, it's like always keep moving forward, basically. It's like always move forward. I don't remember the exact quote, but that's exactly how it is. So like when I make a blunder, it's like, okay, take the position, try to just keep playing moves as though nothing has gone wrong. Because of fatigue or being upset about prior decisions. which also do make him a good player. And it looks like he's gotten. Yeah,
I love how Gustafsson's like he's trying to say it makes him a good player. I mean, I didn't know that I was actually a bad chess player before recent times, but hey, you learn something new every day. I didn't know that I was a bad chess player like a few years back.
Yeah, some more stability in the openings as well. So he's just I'm not sure how he does it, but at this point, it's actually amazing. I don't have the exact stats, but if Magnus is not in there, how many of these events Hikaru just wins and how consistent he is in Blitz and Rapid is, very, very impressive.
Of course, he annoyed me at the interview because he said, this is, I don't get any pressure. This is only fun for me and so on. This usual speech, which is, I mean, he's playing every second game, it's a Berlin. So I don't know. I don't have much fun playing the Berlin. Maybe he does, but of course he's playing for the results.
Nobody's trying to maximize the results here. And I don't know, maybe I'm not sure if he believes it or not, but also it looks like that, no? Because he doesn't crack under pressure. It really looks like he's got to a state of mind where he's saying, okay, I'll just keep playing. If he keeps mentioning it. Seems to work.
Peter has something to say.
This is interesting to hear. I'm going to be honest, you guys. Like this is news to me. I didn't know that. I mean, it's actually really funny that people are under this. They have this misconception that I actually I care about the result. I really want to do well. When I'm in the moment playing the game, of course I want to win. Everybody wants to win. I'm a competitor. I've played chess my whole life. But that being said, like this notion that I'm playing for the results, like I was playing the Sicilian in the American Cup. So I'm a little bit confused as to what. I mean, maybe this was done the other day after the Chess Champions Tour. That is possible, to be fair, but I definitely I don't know. It's interesting that they don't believe what I'm saying. It's very interesting.
Yeah. I feel I'm being typecast here. You only expect me to say something when it's about FIDE. I also have opinions about other stuff. I mean, well, I think the chess evolution has been so favorable for Naka. I mean, openings has become easier, time controls has become faster, things has going to knockout and now double knockout. I think it's just right up his alley, and I mean, he's just incredible at it, right? And
he's also the number 5 in the world in classical.
Yeah, I think that we have just we all thought he was declining, and we didn't take him serious at all. Remember laughing? I mean, the Kramnik joke that can Nakamura become the world champion? Sure, if everybody else quit, was his reply and stuff like this. He's been heavily disrespected, and I guess we all belonged in that camp to a certain extent, right? But
I don't feel that way. I think people were always aware of what a strong... Actually,
I have to be honest. I agree 100% with Peter Heine Nielssen. He's actually right. He's 100% right that until I came back and played in the FIDE Grand Prix and everything, nobody was acting like I could play classical chess anymore. Peter Heine is 100% correct here. Even though I have a feeling the other two guys are going to try to backtrack, he is 100% spot on. And it's kind of surprising to hear that because, of course, Peter Heine Nielssen has worked with Magnus for so many years, but he is 100% spot on. A lot of people try to have this kind of revisionist history that somehow they were all big fans along the way or things, but it's not true. If you look at the period from when the pandemic began to until I did really well in the Grand Prix and qualified for the candidates tournament, everyone was looking at I was a total joke and I was not I could not play classical chess anymore. So he is 100% spot on.
A player he is, and also the gifts that he has. It looked at some point, he was barely playing classical chess, and before he had this issue, which I've also pointed out many times, that to my mind he was weak with black in the opening, especially against the very top guys, and there he got caught and it cost him sometimes. But I don't think people thought of him as not a top player. I think it was very reduced to this, or at least to me it felt like to this one aspect of his game, which I'm not sure.
Interesting. I don't quite agree with that statement. I have to be honest. I don't really quite agree with that because that's just not the reality. Even Karyakin had plenty to say. Yeah, I'm not. I mean, acting like I was a top player. Everyone thought I was retired. They thought I'd never play again. I'd never have a good result again in my entire life. So It's the revisionist history is a little bit much here, a little bit much.
To what extent it's been fixed, maybe it's also, engines got stronger and he gained more experience. But I also do think that probably now that the success is there, he is putting in a little more work than during this phase when he was maybe even more focused on streaming and business. But
he's playing all the time. He's streaming all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, this is amazing. And I would agree with you, Jan, actually, that we took him serious just when it came to I want to become world champion. Didn't look like, he was a top player. It's a bit like, I will mention him. It's been a while since.
Wait, did he just say I didn't look like I was a top chess player? I was top 10 in the world for like a decade. Other than like 1 or 2 months, I was like a top 10 player in the world for a decade. Or did I mishear him? It's possible because of the French accent, I misheard him. Let me go back. Did I mishear him? Wait, let me listen again.
Yeah, no, this is
in business. But in this phase when aspect of his game, which I'm not sure to what extent it's been fixed. Maybe it's also, engines got stronger and he gained more experience. But I also do think that probably now that the success is there, he is putting in a little more work than during this phase when he was maybe even more focused on.
No, so, okay, by the way, I'm going to give you guys more disclaimers here. So when I hear Gustafsson say this bit about how I'm putting in more work, I hate to break it to everybody. I'm a streamer first. I'm not a professional chess player. I do put in work during the tournaments, but like back when I was playing chess professionally, I was studying like 5-6 hours a day. I do not study 5 to 6 hours a day of chess. So let's just be completely clear that I do not study chess like I once did. So I'm not, putting in more work.
On streaming and business. But
he's playing all the time. He's streaming all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, this is amazing. And I would agree with you, Jan, actually, that we took him serious just when it came to I want to become world champion. Didn't look like, he was a top player. It's a bit like...
Wait, he said it didn't look like he was a top player, but whatever. That might be a French-English thing, not a big deal.
I will mention him. It's been a while since I didn't mention him. So it's a bit like Geary, he's a top player, a very strong player. But when it comes to... When he says, I want to be world champion, it doesn't feel... It feels that they don't belong to that class of players. They belong to top 5, yes, for sure, but not to world champion.
Well, Magnus was pretty good.
Oh, man, did he just really say Anish is not... He just said Anish Geary is not world championship caliber, right? Okay, so he roasted Anish here, okay. By the way, I didn't know there was a world where you can be a top 5 player and like top 5. It's such a thin margin, like not world champion but top 5. That's like, I wonder what Anish is gonna have much more to say about this than I do. But yeah, Anish is probably gonna hear something. He's probably gonna like make some joke about it for sure.
So everybody making that statement, you could argue that. But now I think the playing field is wide open. I think I would agree that Ding and Nakamura are and Fabi. Although Fabi, he really hasn't shown it the last outings. But we think of them as on a slightly different level. But to make it to the candidates, I don't know. I think it's going to be very interesting what the future brings. Peter.
No, what I wanted to point out, I think, you said Nakamura started working harder on his chess. I don't know. It could also be...
That was just a guess. I have no idea either. But he's getting into trouble less. Maybe it's because it's easier.
I thought it's a chance to get in my usual line. Maybe he's just like Magnus. He can hire guys like me who can sit there and work all the time, right? Space sparring. I think Nakamura has incredible resources, right? So my best guess would be that he hired someone who just delivers him stuff.
No, some of the stuff is known as well. Yeah, Hushenbin worked with him during the candidates for his wide repertoire. He has his helpers and so on. Yeah. But we should mention, in case you guys didn't know, that Peter does sit there and work all the time. Space sparring.
Exactly.
And if he doesn't, he's thinking.
Yes.
Maybe someone as good as you, like Chris Littlejohn, no? Maybe you can play a brief match with Littlejohn. And...
you keep dissing Chris Littlejohn, but I have a lot of respect for him. So
sure.
Yeah.
So who was making white repertoire for Naka?
Hushenbin, my boy.
Ah, yeah. Okay, I don't know.
No, but I think we are underestimating how big an economic entity Naka is. He can do. He can just hire a lot of guys to do stuff he's not very good at and don't care. And also, probably, for Naka doing 1 hour of streaming, he can afford paying 20 hours of salary for people.
I'm sorry, this is really funny. I gotta be honest. I didn't know that I was. I didn't know that I apparently like I'm like this massive entity. I'm making like what tens of millions of dollars. Like I didn't know that I can literally say I can ring up somebody on the phone and be like, yo, like Shankland, you willing to like work for 2 hours and hit that space bar and like I don't know the Kalashnikov or something. This is really, really good. I got to be honest. This is really funny. So I'm going to actually give you guys a lowdown. So as far as the American Cup went, I only had one guy working for me. That was Christopher Littlejohn. You know, we've been working together for many, many years. He came up with the ideas in the Kalashnikov. So yeah, this idea that I'm paying like 20 people or something, like it's wrong. That being said, however, it's very clear to me that Peter Heine Nielssen is much more in touch with the realities of things than these other two guys are. It's very, very clear that that Peter Heine Nielssen is he's much more sort of in line with what the reality is in general terms.
For yourself.
I just did. Yeah, I understand that. I mean,
no, it's not.
No, but still, I mean, it depends how you define work. But paying people to create files doesn't help you much if you don't look at them. Like you still have to be involved in the process to some extent. Like the preparing, if it's repeating a file, or nowadays
speak for yourself comes to mind here. But yeah, I think
you have to be involved in the process. Like,
sorry, I didn't mean to undermine your business model.
No,
there, but
please.
In general, if you want the work to help you, then you have to spend some time. No, and nowadays if you click through a file or if you just enter the moves. E4, E5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5, knight f6, and look at what the engine says. It's not like those processes are that different.
I mean, again, I cannot reveal how my contract is, but it's very clear that Magnus is not under any obligation to sort of read what I actually sent him. I think that's the key element of our relationship. So no, that one I disagree with you on.
I don't get your point, so
no,
it's still useful for Nakamura to hire people to...
No, so what Peter Heine Nielssen here is he's saying, like, Peter Heine Nielssen can work all day long and give Magnus some big file on, like, the Night Orb, and Magnus can just literally get the file, say, cool, thanks for the file, and just not look at the file. That's what he's saying. That's what Peter Heine is saying. He's saying that basically you can hire someone to do work, but that doesn't mean you're actually looking at the file. Somebody does the work, and, like, Magnus might look, and he's like, oh, yeah, cool file, cool story, bro, and just then he puts it aside and he forgets to ever look at the file. So that's what Peter Heine Nielssen is saying here, and the others are trying to like pretend that can't happen.
Do work and then not to look at it.
You look at some of it you don't. You have
no, of course you don't have to go through anything, but you have to put in some work to prepare for the game. So you're the one playing. You have to.
This is actually a great conversation. I'm really finding this very funny because it's like basically what Jan Gustafsson is trying to say here. He's saying like you can't show up with minimal preparation, play good chess. Hikaru must be studying for like 3 or 4 hours before every single game. Before he goes to a tournament, he must be using those hours every single day, and he's just not being honest about how much chess he's studying. That's what's happening. Peter's basically saying like Magnus will like get a file, and, yeah, okay, I like this Night file. Yeah, maybe I'll play it. Maybe I'll just put it aside. Who cares? I'll show up to the game. I'll decide what I'm going to do. And so Peter's saying one thing, and Gustafsson's basically saying there's no way that like I can do it, or Magnus can do it, or anybody can do it like that. That's essentially in plain English what's being said here.
He's still rather weak in the opening, in my opinion. He's not impressive, but I mean, he's better than he used to be, and it's less important these days because engines and openings are so much stronger than they used to be. That's how I see it.
Yeah, so if you play, let's say, the Berlin and the Semi-Tarrasch, you can defend a sort of limited territory where also you can get hit once or twice, but at some point it's going to be harder and harder to hit.
No, I mean, we used to be able to hit him so hard with the white pieces, but this you cannot really do anymore because basically it's mapped out that, well, you saw the same in the last World Championship. Nepomniachtchi will just do this solid repertoire over and over again. It's incredibly hard doing something against.
No, I fully agree. I have the same, not the same level, but in my Bundesliga game, I see that some people, I feel I know 10 times more than them, but I mean, the guy is going to play the Queen's Gambit. And
that's what I meant with the evolution. The evolution has helped Naka. I think he's doing quite to an extent what he used to do. Yeah. Now it just works, what it didn't do before.
Because it's very easy with the engine, Now it just... it's a disaster for us, this engine. We should stop the guys from Lila, Stockfish. And,
good luck with that. But anyway, I think we generally agree on these things. We just like to disagree.
Yeah.
No, he's good. Another tournament win. And I would assume, I don't know anything about this, Another business win. Hikaru moving to Kick. That's a new streaming platform funded by, I don't know, some crypto connection there. But he said he was gonna keep streaming on Twitch as well. So yeah, I'm not sure what that means. I saw some tweet that Kick is clearly committed to his success, which, yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I was hoping to learn something in that podcast. That someone would explain to me what is Kick, because I don't have any clue. I'm on their site now, but so it's crypto stuff, yeah?
I don't know. I saw on Reddit chess there was my research that it's backed by some crypto, but I have no clue, to be honest with you.
Peter?
I never ever heard about the Kick before, and sort of Naka was doing this announcement. He said he had some big announcement coming. I have to admit that, well, I was hoping for something that I would find more exciting, but it could just be complete ignorance from my part. I'm open to that. I have no idea what it is.
Yeah.
You didn't get a kick out of it?
Good one. I mean, you come well prepared this time, I have to admit.
Zugzang pipe.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think this kick, it was started
too funny
as a crowd-funded operation on Kickstarter, actually. Okay, that was weak. It's time to move on. Magnus plays poker, second day of the Norwegian poker champ.
Okay, so anyway, painful dad joke is a chair on top. Yeah, I don't even know what to make of that. They're trying to make jokes. All right, let's keep moving along with our other content.